then we need to take that into the public. We need to change the way the schools are run, change the way the classes are, and give the kids an opportunity to be multifunctional like they are, rather than requiring them to sit in a hard desk until they're diagnosed as hyperactive. There are ways to do that are very, very easy. They're not expensive, and it just requires a little bit of openness. I mean, after all, the school systems that we're running in this are operating on curriculums that are over 100 years old. What were people like back then? What are they like now? It's like we're a bunch of aliens compared to those people. Just the way that our world is. The fast pace, the information, everything. We're not even the same human beings that the curriculums were written for.
Yeah.
So we need to adjust that, and we need to give them environments that are more comfortable. They don't do well with busyness and clutter. They get on what I call aural and visual overload. When there's a lot of clutter, too much stuff in their environment, they get nervous. It's just who they are. They get antsy. They can't be still. They start acting out. They don't know why. So we need to change the lighting. We need to change the colors we use. We need to change how the rooms are arranged and how they go about their schoolwork. I suggest what I call a wheel system, where they have a set of assignments and a deadline to get them done, but then they're allowed to do them in any order or skip back and forth or whatever they want, as long as they do them. And it's a pretty good system, I think, and I think that it's very trackable. And I know that kids would be a lot more comfortable in an environment like that. They also need natural things, plants, animals. They need to get outside. And as far as like when they're at school, they need to be given like little snacks mid-morning, mid-afternoon, fruit, nuts, vegetables, good stuff like that, because they don't eat like we do, and they don't sleep like we do, and their metabolism is really fast. And so they're burning stuff up, and they can't pay as much attention as they would if they just were a little better sustained that way.
Is this all going to be in your new book then? These kind of hints and tips?
A lot of that's in the Children of Now toward the back of the book, the wheel system I'm talking about, and the environmental changes. All of that's in the Children of Now. What the new book is about adults learning to be healthy people, how to let go of fears and perceptions that aren't getting them anywhere, and that kind of thing. And then there are exercises at the end of each chapter that kind of help the adults learn how to come to those awarenesses, get into that space, whatever the chapter's about. And then there's a second exercise that adults can do with their children. So it's all about communication, awareness, open into possibilities, learning how to dump our old patterns so that we don't propagate them onto our children. A lot of the times we're not even aware of them. So that's what my parenting book's about. It's a completely different approach to parenting. It's about having healthy adults. The kids are do fine as long as we do. That's the
I was going to say, all of these new kids, it's really a gift for us to get our act together, isn't it?
No kidding. No kidding. They are the impetus for us to get over ourselves, because we're so untruthful with ourselves. We lie to ourselves constantly. Everything's fine. I'm doing a good job. When in truth, all we're doing is telling ourselves that to reassure ourselves, because we're trying to live by someone else's values. We're taught as children, we have to do more, we have to try harder, we have to find that one life purpose that we came to do, which doesn't exist, by the way. Our life purpose is everything that we are, every moment that we are. So we never know how we touch somebody in that moment. We never know how we affect our environment, or even necessarily how other people affect us in the moment. So there's a constant interchange going on. We're off the hook. We're not looking for anything particular. All we have to do is be now and do it well. Know who it is we mean to be and be that. Yeah. So that's what the new book's about. And I think that there's a lot of really good helpfulness in that I know will filter to the kids if people use it.
Yeah. So how can people get a hold of you, Meg?
I can be emailed at Dr. Meg, DRMEG, at spiritlight.com. And that's spiritlite.com, and same as my website. And I believe there are contact areas on my website as well. And the best thing to do is email me. I travel a lot, so I don't even try to keep up with a phone number to be reached at. It's easiest and most efficient to find me online by email.
Sure. Okay. And anything you'd like to leave our audience with today?
A couple of things. I've been taking people on journeys to different sacred places in the world. Excuse me, because what's happening is as the energies are refining, like we've been talking about, the sacred sites are amping up. You wouldn't believe the difference if you're sensitive to energy when you go to these places, if you've ever been to any of them, how they're changing. Sorry, I've got trees pollinating this week. Anyway, so I have trips coming up to Ireland, to Teotihuacan in Mexico. I've got a really special invitation by some elders in Peru of the Incan people to bring a group for the reigniting of the solar disk at Lake Titicaca, which is part of the rites that they're doing towards 2012.
Wow, I want to go to that one.
I just put a thing on my website, and I actually haven't put a flyer together because it just came together the last couple of weeks. But we're doing that, and then we've got a tag on to Cusco, the Urubamba Valley, and Machu Picchu. That's in February. And then in October of next year, I'm taking a group to Egypt, and boy, are we doing it right. So those things are all on my website, links and everything, and I just want to mention that because as we get closer to, to 2012 and the energies are amping up, I feel like it's real important to do a lot of hands-on stuff with the energy and to keep ourselves attuned and to be familiar with the kinds of energies that are going on. So going to these sacred sites, each one is harmonically completely different, which is phenomenal. And when we go to them, we actually get initialized into new and exciting different sets of energies that I'm finding. So I'm loving doing this. The other thing that I wanted to say is, life is a choice. Every moment is a choice. And all of the choices that we make lead us to what we're experiencing. We are creating everything that we experience in every way. So what I want to just say is that all of us are perfect. If we can remember that, nobody is lesser or greater than anybody else. We're all perfect. And if we can get back into that state of mind and create not from fear but by intention of what we really want life to be like, and then be that and not be afraid to go there, we have it made. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to heal. It's about changing our perceptions and having the kind of life we want. So thanks for that, Tom.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Meg, and so true. Please come back after your new book is out.
I would be delighted. I'm working on another one, too. The parenting one is coming out in October, and right now, literally, I'm working on a new one called The Consciousness of Change, and it's all about the consciousness like I've been talking about, I've kind of alluded to today.
Right.
It's a total book about consciousness and change and how we can do all of that. So that comes out next summer. So happy to come back, and thanks for sharing your time with me today.
Okay. Dr. Meg Blackburn, ladies and gentlemen, check out her website, spiritlight.com. Get her books. Teach your children well, as Crosby, Stills, and Nash used to say. And this is Tom Murasso from BornToManifest.com and Mr. Logic Radio, and we'll see you next time. Peace out, and we love you.